Hi, everybody, and welcome to another The Daily Muse. I'm Bill Davis, and today I wanted to talk about this thing that you may have heard of. You certainly know the subject matter, and that is this concept of 10,000 hours. Malcolm Gladwell, a pretty famous author, author of quite a few books, such as I've got a couple on my shelf, Blink and The Tipping Point. As well as Outliers, which is the book that talks about the 10,000 hour rule. I think he may have coined that term, but it came from at least two other guys who were doing studies on what they call deliberate practice. And the idea is that in order to become an expert or very proficient at a skill, it takes about 10,000 hours of deliberate practice. So I want to talk about two things. What does 10,000 hours mean? Like, what does that equate to? Is that, a, it's 1,000 hours for 10 years. You could break it down a lot of different ways, but, you look at a brain surgeon, or you look at a professional athlete, or you look at an entertainer, first of all, I'm not sure that 10,000 hours is like even close to hard and fast rule. I was watching a video last night of Will Smith's kids. They're little kids. One is, I think, 21 now, but they were showing him when he was like 7, 8, 9 years old on Ellen, and the kid could dance like Michael Jackson then. He certainly didn't have 10,000 hours in his pocket. Talent makes a big difference, right? So if you're extremely talented in something and you find that thing that you're talented in, you're passionate about it, and maybe you're surrounded by it because your family is already in that field, maybe it doesn't take you very long. Whereas, a lot of, like maybe an author needs to write about 10,000 hours before he or she can publish a book that's worth its salt, right? But let's break it down. 10,000 hours is about, and I haven't done the math, I've just done kind of in my head, but 10,000 hours breaks down to about, I think it's 3 hours of deliberate practice, and that's a key, deliberate practice for 10 years. Or you could do 6 hours a day of deliberate practice for 5 years and become that expert or whatever you want to call it. And that's certainly doable. If you have 20 years, you could do, an hour and a half a day or whatever. So that's not too daunting if you break it down. If you want to get there fast, you want to get there in 2 years, you're really going to have to double and triple and quadruple up, right? But it can be done, and it has been done by thousands, if not millions of people. All right, that's number one. Deliberate practice, what does that mean? That doesn't just mean practice, because I could go practice golf, and I don't know golf, I don't play golf. I could go practice golf by myself for 10,000 hours and be worse then than I am now because I practiced wrong. I just reinforced all the bad habits that I didn't know about technique and stuff like that, right? So you need deliberate practice, which is practice that is focused and that is not only is the objective improvement, but you probably need a coach, or at least you need to videotape your stuff so that you can critique it yourself, but you're not an expert yet, so you don't know if you're doing it right or wrong. So you need some kind of feedback, some kind of criticism, some kind of, you need a feedback loop. Hey, you're doing this wrong, do this, change that, change this, whatever, right? All that stuff matters. That's deliberate practice. Now, do I think any of this stuff is credible? Yes, I do. But I don't think 10,000 hours is hard and fast. I think it could be 2,000 hours for somebody who's incredibly gifted. It could be 5 minutes for somebody who's really like a savant, right? Or it could be 20,000 hours for something really complicated in which you have no talent, but you have passion. So it's tough, but I just wanted to introduce the idea, and I'd like to see what you have to say about it. All right, so that's it. Talk to you next.